Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here, and I hope you all are enjoying Arts Week and what is to come. There is one indefinite thing that all beings on this earth share: time. We all have time attached to us, whether it be your phone, watch, or those people that can just tell time by looking at the sun. Like, yep, the sun is 45 degrees from the North Pole, it must be 3:15. That makes sense. This is in the literal sense. However, what I want to talk to you about today is your lifetime. Yes, you don't live forever. You'll eventually perish into the void of darkness we call death. Except for Betty White. It seems like she's never going to kick the bucket. This inevitable phenomenon scares each and every one of us. And it's slowly going to keep creeping up on us minute by minute, day by day. Dying, that is, not Betty White. So we need to learn how to make the most of our time while walking this earth. In my eyes, I see life as having two factors. One is your personal life, where you form, maintain, and enhance your relationships with experiences. And the second is our ambition, what we strive for, our goals or purpose. With such little time, we have to find harmony between these two factors. From the moment you were brought into this world, you were put into the arms of people who matter the most. This is your family. Being raised by an artist and an engineer, I was shown two polar personalities. My father, the engineer, is a focused individual who spent most of his time in school, working, and providing for our family. Fun little fact, my family actually originally moved to Canada to oversee the construction of the 407. My dad comes from a large family with 5 sisters and a full set of parents. Naturally, he became a family man. Every year, we go to Spain and have a reunion with the entire family, which consists of about 40 people. We call this the Martinez trip. Remember that for later. Backtrack to 1998, the year I was born. My father had just finished his MBA, and you know what that means, folks. High expectations for me. My ambition and work ethic come from my father. And to be honest, he doesn't put too many expectations on me. He is simply my role model, and I hope to live up to what he has. My mother has a large role in my personal development. She is the most beautiful woman I have ever met. Whenever I'm down within an instant, she can bring me to my feet and on the right track. Her humor, strength, optimism, and natural kindness are just a few words to describe her. Her tendency to speak without a filter has gotten us in sticky situations, which my sister have had to apologize for. But nonetheless, she has taught me to always speak my mind. Now, my mom is a firm believer in the zodiac signs, which is awesome. And for any of you that believe in that too, that's great. You have to believe in something, right? But my mother takes it to a bit of an extreme. Whenever I bring someone home, the first thing she needs to find out is their sign. As soon as she finds out, she splurges and tells them exactly what kind of a person they are. Makes sense? I didn't think so either. Her and I have this constant dispute on what my sign is. She keeps saying I'm a Gemini, whatever that means. Instead, I like to tell her it's a dollar sign, because I love money. I'm not that materialistic, I'm kidding. My mother is also the most giving person I've ever met. She'll do whatever she can to keep her kids happy. She doesn't care what other people think, so if she wants to make her kids happy, she'll do it by any means. Her confidence is immaculate, and it's what makes her the most beautiful woman. Her hard work in raising my sister and I is something I can never repay her for. Te quiero. It was only when I came to boarding where I really learned to appreciate these attributes of my parents. Everybody's parents, whoever the loved one who sent them to Appleby, is sacrificing something. For some students at Appleby, their parents are sending them across the world so they can get the best high school experience out there. Some of us are raised by one parent, some are raised by our grandparents, or in some cases, foster parents. And others, in all circumstances, someone in each and every one of our lives has sacrificed something for our well-being. Tell them you love them more often, because your time with them is precious and limited. Don't get mad at your dad when he asks you how your week was a million times. He just wants to spend time with you. Sit at the dinner table and engage in a real conversation, not staring down at your phone, keeping your streaks on Snapchat. Go out with each of them alone and see a movie or take them out to dinner, just the two of you. Find ways to spend time with the loved ones because it is something that won't last forever. Your family will love you unconditionally, but don't take advantage of that. Just under 2 years ago, my sister, who graduated from Appleby, had a falling out with my dad. To not get too much into detail, She didn't agree with something he had said and went against it. They didn't speak for almost a whole year. Things were said and bonds were broken. I hated to see them like this. Mediating between both parties, I tried to make peace between them. The consequences my father's placed on my sister pushed her further away from him. My sister didn't come on that annual Martinez trip for the first time ever. Both of them eventually apologized to each other and built their bond again. They did not want to lose each other. And now, whenever an opportunity comes, my father goes down to Boston to visit her. With the little amount of time we have, we can't hold grudges against each other. We need to learn to forgive and forget, move on with our lives, see the good in one another, and accept each other with who we live in harmony. I wasn't particularly good at this. After my parents divorced in 2010, my father brought home his new girlfriend. I wouldn't accept her as a part of my father's side of the family. I felt threatened that she was replacing my mother, but I would hide on all of this under a smile. The numerous arguments she and I had, I would hold against her and use it in the most immature way. I was extremely closed-minded and went against everything she stood for. This last winter break, I hadn't gotten her a Christmas present since I thought she didn't deserve one and I had no obligation to get her one. I had let passive aggression get the best of me, and in turn, this hurt her a lot. I had no regrets at all. I thought I had done nothing wrong. It was the right thing to do. Even on Christmas Eve, I felt no remorse. The next day, we were leaving for a family trip to Lake Louise, and on this trip, as my family does, we try to resolve conflicts. I would still not apologize and continue to defend my case. On one of the final days of the trip, my dad's girlfriend became very vulnerable. She shared with us the sacrifices she made to raise her children alone in a new country with a language barrier, working 3 jobs, and at the time, her kids and her were in a conflict. Her hardships made me realize that the last thing she needs is some high school kid to give her more stress. She didn't deserve my hostile and passive-aggressive attitude, so I reconsidered and apologized. Now, she's marrying my father this summer, and I can honestly say I couldn't be happier for both of them. She's a part of my family. I had wasted so many years having negative thoughts of her, and I will never be able to have that time back. 6 years is a long time, and I hope none of you make the same decision I made. People aren't perfect. They sometimes say things that they don't mean. What's important is moving on from that. As Ms. Haggie says, it doesn't matter what you did, it's how you make up for the mistake. Don't make the mistake I did. Move on from the past, live in the now, and keep those you love close to you. With your relationships in good health, the next piece of the puzzle is ensuring you balance your ambitions and goals with these relationships. A day at Appleby can be a little overwhelming, whether you start your day with a 6 a.m. morning hockey practice or you end your day at 9 in the afternoon with First Mentors. As you all heard on Monday's assembly, the Blue Dog culture, AC cult, with APs, assignments, summatives, exams, combined with co-curriculars can put a lot of stress on an Appleby student. We all want to achieve great things, become entrepreneurs, musicians, politicians, economists, doctors, or lawyers. We kill ourselves trying to get that SAT score we need or that percentage on our final math exam to get into our dream schools. We stay in for weeks at a time just to catch up with work or simply do well in everything we do. What we need is a spring awakening. It won't matter in 5 years, guys. If you didn't get that SAT score you needed, so be it. There are other factors in the university acceptance process. Got a 1 on your physics AP exam, which I have the honor of having? So be it. Bomb a test in your favorite class doesn't mean you're bad at the entire subject, nor that you shouldn't pursue that subject. Maybe you missed a game-winning shot and later down the road, that won't matter at all. You'll have so many more opportunities to win championships. Instead of being so preoccupied in our futures, worrying that we may fail, we need to live in the now and take advantage of the time we have left in high school. Grade 11, I didn't really go out much because I was so focused on getting into a top-tier school. I wasn't hanging out with my friends, girlfriend. I would barely spend time with my family. At the end of the day, I didn't get into Johns Hopkins University, but I was later offered an admission at Boston University, and I couldn't be happier. Grade 12s. It's not too late to take the amazing friendships you have now and keep them past high school, while still striving for your dreams. make new friendships in university, and balance those with your ambitions to not leave them in the dirt. Grade 9s. For the rest of high school, I challenge you to maintain your friendships throughout all of high school. Don't be so narrow-minded on focusing on just yourself and your ambitions. You may forget about the people who love you on the way. Now, before you go home and tell your parents, I'm dropping out of high school because some guy who thinks he's very philosophical told me to do it, realize you need a balance of both. Dedicate time to your goals and your loved ones. Do co-curriculars you need with your friends and make study groups. Don't grovel over one little test. Stop worrying about so much of what is to come, and as cliche as it is, stop and smell the roses. Keep your loved ones close, forgive and forget, and stop obsessing about the future. Can you all please stand and sing hymn 578?